All right, gang, I'm going to post a link to a story down in the description box below. This is a victory for all of us First Amendment auditors and cop watchers. This is a victory out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. This is like, baby steps. Little change here, little change there, little change there, and we'll finally get there. But when people now ask you, why do you do a First Amendment audit? Why are you doing this? This is a waste of your time. Why are you doing this? Anybody nationwide asks you that. Refer them either to the story that I'm going to put in the description box below, or you can refer them to my video here. But out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, the city of Colorado Springs are to pay a cameraman $41,000 after a First Amendment audit of the police per a court settlement. Now, what happened is two Colorado Springs police officers' confrontation with a man taking photographs outside a police substation, cost the city $41,000. Terrell Clayton was photographing police cars going in and out of the secured parking lot from a public place on November 2nd as part of the First Amendment audits movement to judge the response of police and other people's responses to other public officials to the presence of a cameraman in a public place. Because under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the right to free press is not just limited to a newspaper or a news anchor. It's for every American citizen. It's our First Amendment right. In California, we have the California Constitution for every California citizen. So what happened was the two officers deemed Clayton's behavior suspicious and asked for ID. He declined to provide it. He said, "I decline your request." The encounter was published on YouTube, and I will post a copy of the URL link to that video in the description box below as well. He was detained, placed in the back of a patrol car, stripped of a camera and cell phone, those that he was using to record this encounter. They were taken from him, and he was cited with disorderly conduct. Now, the next day, he filed a complaint against the officers citing wrongful detainment. Again, he was detained, placed in the back of a patrol car, and stripped of the camera and cell phone that he was using to record the encounter, and then cited with disorderly conduct. He did file the complaint of wrongful detainment, and 6 months later, the city of Colorado Springs, Colorado, settled for $41,000 with the cameraman. And additionally, police general orders that taking photographs or recording from a public place in and of itself does not constitute suspicious activity. So when they come up to you and say, well, you're being suspicious, this is very suspicious activity, I need your ID. At least in the state of California, you can say, I decline that request. Unless you're committing a crime, have committed a crime, or you're about to commit a crime, i.e. you're standing in front of a jewelry store with a crowbar in your hand looking at the window going, what are you talking about? But photographing and recording in and of itself cannot be deemed suspicious activity. Colorado Springs, Colorado, under the court settlement, must also create and publish a roll call video addressing the First Amendment right to record police activity. It will require officers to view that video by the end of the year per this court settlement. Lieutenant Howard Black said those actions are underway. So they're already underway, the actions of them doing a roll call video addressing the First Amendment right to record from a public place, and all the officers have to view that by the end of the year. There you go. Look, it's all about educating and informing. That's what it's about. We're out here to educate the officers like that. The law enforcement officers that come out and say, hey, how you doing? Hey, he's recording, it's legal, whatever. And go, they're educated and they're informed. And that's particularly not really who we're reaching out to. We're reaching out to those officers that would come out and say, you're being very suspicious with that camera. Well, I'm on a sidewalk, and well, I need your ID because you're suspicious. And then detain you, handcuff you, put you in a patrol car, say, we're going to get you for being disorderly. What? Or we're going to get you for trespassing, and you're on the sidewalk. See, that's a misuse and abuse of law enforcement authority. And those are the officers that these First Amendment audits are looking to reach. Those are the officers and the public officials that we want to reach, that we want to educate and inform and say what we're doing is legal. It is not against the law. You have no right to come out here and detain me ask me for my, you can ask for my ID, but you cannot push it. I'm not mandated to give you my ID if I'm not doing anything illegal, have not done anything illegal. So if I'm doing a legal activity, in and of itself, recording in a public place, you cannot mandate that I give you my ID. And that's what we're looking to do, is to educate those public officials and those law enforcement officers on the First Amendment right to record and photograph in a public place. Because you got to understand, if they're going to abuse and misuse their law enforcement authority powers on a cameraman who's just doing something legal in a public place, just think of the civil rights violations that they may be committing against people without a camera, against people on a traffic stop, against people who are just transient or homeless walking along the street. And I'm not talking about a specific or particular police station or any law enforcement agency. I'm talking nationwide. This is a nationwide problem. So those are the officers we're looking to reach, that we're looking to educate and inform, are those that are misusing and abusing their law enforcement authority powers. And we're telling them, look, we're not going to take this anymore. When we're doing a legal, constitutionally protected activity, you can come up, you can ask all the questions you want, but you can't mandate we give you our ID, at least not in the state of California. Some states are stop and ID states. California is not one of them. You cannot mandate I give you my ID. You cannot tell me to go away. You cannot get in my face and handcuff me and say you're being suspicious. Recording and photographing in and of itself is not a suspicious, cannot be deemed a suspicious activity. News Now Yucaipa, I want to hear from all of you guys on this. Let me know what you think.